This episode of Lawyers Tell All is brought to you by the Intake Academy. Do you know how to cement relationships with more of your ideal clients, get them to commit to you, and send you more referrals than you ever thought possible? Visit www.intakeacademy.com, where you will get the strategies you need to make the most of your marketing and advertising dollars. Plus, develop a team of intake specialists and attorneys who convert more qualified case opportunities and build meaningful relationships with prospective clients. Welcome to the Lawyers Tell All podcast, where Chris Mullins, the preeminent sales and communications consultant in the legal industry, shows you how it looks through lawyers' eyes. Here, innovators in the trenches provide powerful insights that help you connect with new clients, handle the sometimes harsh realities of the legal profession, and embrace the mindsets needed to succeed. Be sure to visit our website at www.lawyerstellall.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, lean in, tune in, and let's take a deep dive.
Hello, everyone. It's Chris Mullins with Lawyers Tell All, and today I am interviewing Lem Garcia, and I'm going to let Lem tell you about himself. Go for it.
Hey, everyone. I'm Lem Garcia. I am a personal injury lawyer in Los Angeles, California, more specifically in West Covina. Opened my practice in 2014, just me opening an office, and then now, 11 years later, we have a pretty good-sized team. I think about 20 people are here now. We have 4 lawyers. My wife came on board just a couple of years into it, and she really helped bolster what we do, streamline everything. And since just the opening, it's just kind of been an upward trajectory, and we've had our ups and downs, but we're going strong.
So, what made you decide to be an attorney?
I went to law school really just to better myself. I think I was at a place where I majored in journalism, graduated 2004 from journalism. And it was really hard to get a job at that time. And it was really, I don't know, I kind of foresaw things, how they would play out with the internet and just the industry as a whole. And then I was working for a lawyer, as a personal assistant or a legal assistant. And then I said, I really need to just better myself and see where law school takes me, how I can help people out, and just took it, one day at a time.
Now, how did you pick personal injury? How did that happen?
So when I opened up, I was just ready to help out anybody that came that actually wanted to talk to me and see how I could help out. So I advertised as personal injury, workers' comp, social security, disability, wills, and just, anyone that had a problem, they were looking for a lawyer. I was willing to talk to them. And then the first couple of cases were personal injury cases. And I saw as a business that would really work out. I was really helping people, and I just decided, let me just focus 100% on that. How can I best help the community and at the same time have a profitable business? And I just went all in on personal injury.
Now, did you have your own practice the entire time?
So I opened the practice in 2014 against the bar in 2012. So there was a time for that 2 years where I was just kind of, looking for work. I had some independent contractor jobs, really didn't know what I wanted to do as a lawyer. And then I decided in 2014, just to open an office and see where things would go.
Okay, awesome. Now, how many attorneys? You have 4 attorneys now?
Yeah, so me, my wife, and then 2 other attorneys. Yeah, 4 total. Yeah.
Okay, great. So what are some of the hard lessons that you've learned that you could share with people so they don't have to go through the same thing?
One thing that I wish I could go back and do differently is create processes from the start. When I was, when I opened up, I wasn't documenting what I was doing. I was just doing it case by case, step by step, learning along the way. But if I could just go back and take the time to document every process that I did, so that later on it would be much easier for someone else to follow along. And when training new staff, I wouldn't have to do it myself. I would have a manual or a guide to explain everything. And now 11 years later, I still find us still, documenting everything so that, we don't have to explain the process again, and that we can hire people and they know what to expect, and it's just easier for everybody.
So I think most people probably still, they just, like at the very, very beginning when they start, it's not really the fun, sexy thing of putting in processes and SOPs and everything. So what's an easy way for them to get going with that, would you say?
Just open up Microsoft Word
I,
and start typing. Just take that time. Just say, okay, if a task is going to take you 30 minutes, just mentally prepare yourself. Okay, the first time it's going to take me a little bit longer, and I'm going to document the steps. And then, you could really just it doesn't even have to be Flower at this point, because now with ChatGPT, you can just crank it out and then put it into ChatGPT and tell it to clean it up, make it easy to understand, and then it'll spit back out to you, and it'll be clean.
yeah.
So just get started.
Yeah, get started. I probably still have to proofread it, right? But
Yes,
yeah.
of course, yeah.
Well, what about AI? Are you folks using AI at all in your practice?
I'm tinkering with it. I use it sometimes. It's not office wide where we're using it, because to be forthright with you, I don't know the right way to do it ethically and responsibly, because I feel like it's a great tool, but with a great tool, it can also be abused. And I think, I'm not even up to speed on its capabilities, how accurate it is. So I feel like right now it's still too soon for me to implement it office wide responsibly.
Okay. And what about intake or salespeople? Who's doing that?
So intake, we have a team every day, a different team that does intake. A team would consist of an attorney, a case manager, and then if the attorney and case manager are already doing intake, then we could have an assistant also help out with the intake. But primarily, I mean, from the start, it was me for the first, I think, 5 years. I said, I'm going to do all the intake. People are calling my office or calling Lem Garcia all day. I think they would like to speak with me. So the first 5 years I was doing that. And then, I said, well, I spoke to someone like, well, you don't really need to do that. So then that's when I finally opened up to having other people do it. And then I had attorneys do it. And I still think, there's some pushback. People say you don't need to have an attorney, but I still think clients do want to talk to an attorney, and the sooner they do, the better.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have someone else do it besides the attorneys. The attorneys are attorneys. They probably can spend their time a lot better. And if you hire the right person and you train them the right way, they can do it.
Yeah.
They can do it. And your clients will be okay with it.
I think most clients, probably more than 90%, are okay with it. But there are a few that, if you go through business review profiles, whether on Yelp or Google, most firms are going to see someone comment, I never spoke to the attorney, or I didn't speak to the attorney until much later on. So considering how important reviews are to a personal injury office, I just, I understand, like, yeah, their time is valuable, but I as a business, I want to avoid any bad review, and I want to avoid any kind of comment where people are saying, oh, no, there are no attorneys I'm speaking to. And if we had the attorneys at the beginning doing intake, those cases usually turn out better, I think.
Yeah. If it works for your business, it works for your business. Yeah. What about client relationships? Any challenges that you've had over the years, or do you still have them? Or when you had them, how did you solve them?
Yeah, I think early on there were more problems than there is now, because I think it just took some time to get up to speed with the needs of all the clients and how much you need to make sure that you're contacting them, how often. And now it's, it took some time to say, okay, we need to have this many people to make sure that all the clients are being contacted and communicated with efficiently and frequently. So I think there was some trouble with that at the start. Not that, we weren't providing great service. I mean, we were, but there was still room for improvement. And it's just a matter of making sure that, you do have the SOPs to make sure that people are contacted repeatedly and that they're updated throughout their case. and then also having the staff. I mean, you could have the SOPs all day long, but if you don't have the staff to execute those things, then it's just not going to work out.
Right. So what are your biggest challenges right now, though? Like right now in business?
The biggest challenge in the business is growing. And that's two ways: is getting the new clients to continue to grow, because that just, we have a certain amount of staff to come in a good number of intake, but then to grow, you have to get a lot of intake, and then on top of that, if you do get the cases, then you need to get good staff, and then it's also hard to, at a certain stage, to continue to scale, to hire the right people or find the right people and train them to hold the standards.
Yeah. So speaking of standards, do you listen to your call recordings, or do you have call recordings?
Yeah, we have call recordings. I don't really spend much time listening. I do have a digital SEO team that does they bring things to my attention, but I'm not spending that much time on it. But yeah, I do sometimes, something happens and I do listen, and I say, okay, we need to fix this, and then we have a meeting, and then we correct it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you don't mind me saying so, I do recommend that you find a way to listen to those calls. Maybe not you, maybe somebody else, but you will be you'll be surprised. Now, I don't know your team, but I pretty much know that like every team, nobody intends to have a bad call. They don't really realize it sometimes what's happening. So just listening is a good way for people to realize, ooh, did I really say that? Or I really sound. It's just a good tool to have. You'll identify the wonderful things that you're doing, so you'll keep doing them, and then you'll identify the opportunities, and you'll take care of it right away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I see the value of that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm curious, do you folks do a one-call close? Like, does the attorney, when they're doing the intake, will they sign me up right away before I hang up?
That's the goal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's another reason why we want to have the attorney at least available. If they're not doing the intake, at least available, because a lot of times the client, they do want to speak to an attorney just to make sure things are done properly, and to have that available, you need someone to close, and a lot of times the attorneys are the ones closing it out to sign them up right away. But yeah, I mean, every month I feel like I'm emphasizing that, like, we have them on the phone now, let's sign them up now. If we say we'll call them back or this or that, then they're just going down the line on Google to the next attorney and talking to someone else.
Yeah, right. 100%. So you said SOPs was the thing that you wish you learned or did in the beginning. Anything else that you feel like is a good lesson to remind people of?
Yeah. When you have the winning hand, don't be scared to go all in. I mean, as much as the success the office has been over the past 11 years, I feel like if I was willing to spend more money in the first 3-4 years, the expansion could have been a lot faster.
Okay, so that's
because people weren't doing reviews yet. And I was getting good traction just with a few reviews and not paying for advertising. I wasn't paying, right? Because it was just kind of this thing that people weren't really doing yet in 2017 or so, at least in my area. And if I went all in with the advertising and spent a huge budget, I got a big case and just said, let's just do that, I probably could have grown a lot faster.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, but still, that's good advice for people, because there's a lot of people in that position right now.
Yeah. And now it's too late. Like, if I spent the money, it would just disappear.
Wait, yeah. Okay. Any other lessons that you've had besides go all in and SOPs?
There's with staff, just they're doing so much for you, and it's really important to recognize that. Whatever you can, recognize it, and early on, before anyone feels unappreciated or underappreciated. Try to get ahead of it as much as you can. I mean, we're doing a lot as business owners, and we're not always thinking about that, but it's important to keep your eye on that, and instead of always just other things, always keep that part in mind too.
It is amazing though, like when you just said that now. I mean, I know that, that, but it is amazing when you think about it. It's like, wait a minute, it's not me that's keeping the building together. Right? It's everybody else. And if they weren't there, we wouldn't have it.
Yeah, and to focus, a lot of good things, bad things happen. People aren't always perfect, but focus on the intent and what, the good that is done, and then other things, they're just ways to improve.
Yeah, 100%. So, what would you like to get help with? So, because this podcast is going to go out, social media, if anybody sees in a law firm, is there anything that you wouldn't mind getting some guidance or tips or help with?
Yeah, any advice about being able to expand without sacrificing quality? I'm all ears.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You sound like you've got the right mindset, but we're in a very casual podcast right now, so it's probably not a stressful moment. But yeah, getting guidance from other firms would probably be really good for something like that.
Yeah. No, I'm all ears. I'm happy to take advice from other law firm owners that have been through it, that have climbed the mountaintop, and they know how to scale. Keeping quality is really important to me, and I'm fine not growing if growing means sacrificing quality. I don't really want. I'm not interested in that.
Right,
it's about just making sure that the standards are upheld, and you make sure you hire the right people and don't spend too much on advertising, and just growing properly.
Okay, so how can other firms get in touch with you then?
My email is lem@lemgarcialaw.com, and you can call or text me on my cell phone, 626-252-2168.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So long. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Lawyers Tell All, where Chris Mullins takes you on a journey with lawyers in the trenches who show you the realities of what it takes to succeed in this chaotic, crowded, ever-changing profession. Remember to visit our website at www.lawyerstellall.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on Lawyers Tell All.